Long, long ago, and just as far from here, on the island of Hispaniola, hurricanes rampage through villages, ripping up trees and stomping across fields. And in one of these villages lived a young black boy named T, with skin the colour of cinnamon bark and long, thin limbs that hung down like the twigs of a tree. T lived with his siblings on his parents' farm, toiling all day under the blazing hot sun, working in their fields. Fields of golden corn, cassava, and yams. But even though he was surrounded by all of these wonderful, delicious provisions, T was always hungry. He felt that pinch of an aching, empty belly. You see, his mother had died and his father had taken another wife. And this new mother, she cared for them very little, and she fed them even less. And so they spent their days toiling, digging, planting, hoeing in the earth until sometimes their fingers were almost raw to the bone. Well, one evening, when T thought no one was around, he stepped into the kitchen and he spied 3 oranges nestled in a bowl on the kitchen table. They looked like golden balls of treasure, and the smell, that bittersweet smell, just filled the room. He sniffed. He was hungry. And before he knew what he was doing, his little fingers had crept out, reached into the bowl, and snaffled one of the oranges. He tore into its soft skin and began to eat. It was exquisite. The juices just exploded in his mouth. He'd eaten a whole orange, and he thought, well, no one will miss 2. And so he reached again. His little fingers took a second orange and began to eat each segment slowly, devouring them. It was wonderful. He hadn't eaten all day. But then he realised he had stolen his stepmother's oranges. What would she say? What would she do? But hunger knows no shame. And so his little fingers grabbed the 3rd orange and he ripped into the fruit, eating them whole. He was just licking his fingers clean, enjoying and savouring the last bit of flavour, when BAM! Stepmother's cane slammed down on the table beside him, just narrowly missing his tiny, thin shoulders. She leaned into his face. Who has stolen my oranges? She pointed her long cane like a bony finger, her dark eyes piercing at all the children that had scurried out into the room. They peeped out from behind doors and chairs, not wanting to betray their brother. And T was just quaking, shivering. "Speak now or I will beat the truth out of you," she bellowed. He was so terrified, he pushed past her and ran out of their wooden house into the night. He ran across the fields of golden corn, sweet potato, cassava, and yams. He ran, and his feet carried him, sprinting to the beat of his heart. And he ran into the forest, where darkness cloaked all around him. And as he ran, he heard a mystical breeze that was drifting in from the Caribbean Sea, whispering to him, "Run, T, run. Keep on moving. Run, T, run. Don't look back." And so he ran. And he ran. And he ran until he finally reached a path that twisted and turned with the barks of the trees. And there was a clearing in the woods, a clearing of tall silk cotton trees, slender trees that are said to be the keepers of the spirits and their secrets. In this clearing lay T's mother's grave, and he threw himself down on the earth, crying, sobbing, "Mama, Mama, please help me. Mama, I'm in so much trouble, all because I've stolen stepmother's oranges." He cried and he cried. His body was shaking with fear. And as he cried, the forest sat watching and twitching as a single orange seed fell from T's clothes onto the ground. His tears watered the earth, watering the seed, and the seed began to swell and grow. The seed grew roots, and the roots took hold into the earth, and then a little green shoot, popped out from the ground. T spied the shoot. He stopped crying, he dried his eyes, and he began to fill with hope. As his mother heard him, he saw this tiny tree bending and twisting, and T began to sing. "Grow, orange tree, grow. Grow, orange tree, grow." And the tree grew, and soft white petals began to blossom. And so he sang some more. "Blossom, orange tree, blossom. Blossom, orange tree, blossom." And beside these beautiful soft white petals, little green oranges glistened in the sunlight. And so he sang again. "Grow ripe, orange tree, grow ripe. Grow ripe, orange tree, grow ripe." And as the tree began to grow and the oranges appeared, he was overjoyed. Now he could replace stepmother's oranges. He watched as the tree began to tower above him, and he thought, "Now let me pluck some, let me pick some." But it was too tall. And so he sang again. "Bend, orange tree, bend. Bend, orange tree, bend." And the tree obeyed T's command. It lowered its branches, dangling orange fruit like jewels glistening in the sunlight. He plucked as many as he could carry, and he dashed back home, where he found his siblings waiting for him. He gave each one of them an orange to eat, and they huddled together, smiling and joking and helping each other rip into the fruit. It was a delicious, beautiful moment. And then T remembered the 3 oranges he had taken from the bowl. He tiptoed back into the kitchen and placed them there. Now he thought he was safe. But just as he was about to turn around, T saw a dark shadow stretched over the table. He turned around and came face to face with stepmother's snarling glare. "Where did those oranges come from, boy? Who put them there?" And at first, he didn't answer. He was just too terrified to speak. "Speak now!" I found an orange tree. I found an orange tree and picked some more for you. I just knew you were angry. I replaced your oranges." He managed to stammer out a reply. Stepmother grabbed one of the oranges, tore into its dappled skin, and ate the fruit. She was absolutely stunned with surprise at the flavour. It was the sweetest orange she had ever eaten. She grabbed T by the collar. "Tell me where you got these oranges from. Now, show me." He didn't want to show her. He didn't want to take her to his mother's grave. He didn't want to share the magic with her, but he had no choice. And so he led stepmother across the fields of golden corn, sweet potato, cassava, and yams. He led her into the forest, where the paths twisted and turned with the barks of the trees. He showed her the clearing of silk cotton trees, and there they stood, amazed at the height this orange tree. It had now doubled in size and was towering above them, shooting up into the sky. The oranges were hanging huge, glistening. "Pick one for me now, quickly," she ordered. And so T sang again. Are you ready to sing with me, everyone? Bend, orange tree, bend. Bend, orange tree, bend. And as he sang, the tree obeyed his command. It lowered its branches, and T reached out and plucked one of the golden oranges. Stepmother roughly grabbed the fruit, tore into it again, and chomped away. Oh, she was absolutely overjoyed and filled with greed. She wanted more. "Get up there and get me some more oranges," she cried. But she couldn't be bothered to wait for him. She reached down, pulled at the branches, and started to climb into the tree herself. And as she sat there, she reached out for all of the other oranges. She was just overjoyed. She couldn't wait. She tore into them. She didn't even finish eating half of them. It was as if she was in a frenzy. And T watched below as stepmother was filling her belly with all of this wonderful fruit. I am going to get all of you children to pick these oranges. I can sell them in the marketplace. This is going to be my money tree, she cried. And T didn't like that idea. He didn't like the idea of her claiming his tree, claiming their future. And so an idea came to him. He began to sing. Grow, orange tree, grow. Grow, orange tree, grow. Sing with me, everyone. Grow, orange tree, grow. Grow, orange tree, grow. And of course, the tree obeyed his command. With stepmother clambering into the branches, the tree grew taller and taller, higher and higher. It burst through the clouds that hung sleepily in the sky. T watched as he could no longer see the top of the tree. He could no longer see his stepmother, and he continued to sing. Grow, orange tree, grow. Grow, orange tree, grow. And as he sang, that mystical Caribbean breeze stirred up once again, blowing in from the sea and mixing with the ash, twisting and turning the leaves until, quick, crack, the branches snapped and the breeze blew stepmother away. T watched, knowing that now his future was safe and bright with his magic orange tree.